What's up, Dub Nation? Well, we've come full circle. We're back to Warriors need a big man, and that's what I'm here to talk about today. Couple of things came up yesterday, which was Tuesday, August 27th, 2024. Hello, E40. What's upper? All right, so the first thing I want to talk about is Brett Siegel's article with Clutch Points, where he suggested a trade between the Warriors and the Bulls involving Nikola Vucevic. Now, he's not the first one to ever suggest that trade. We've had quite a few live streams where Vooch's name has been mentioned, of course, but here we are in the present, and Clutch Points and Brett Siegel has a good, strong reputation building. This is just a suggestion of a trade. It's not him having sources saying this, which is a big difference. But this is just a trade scenario in which the Bulls would get Kevon Looney, Gary Payton, and Moses Moody. Now, obviously, you need to match the salaries. So let's take a quick look at Vucevic right here. $20 million due for this upcoming season, 21.5 next season. But that's it. After that, it expires, which actually lines up pretty nicely with Steph Curry and some of the other ones that are going away for the Warriors a little bit after that. One problem, though, that I have with Vucevic is that he's already 33 years old. Now, this trade scenario from Brett Siegel involves Looney at $8 million and Payton at $9 million, and of course Moody, who is right now making only $5.8 million. So that pretty much adds up correctly to make the salaries match. But I do think that if they were going to do this with Vooch's contract expiring in the summer of 2026, i.e. coming up fairly soon, that might be a good chance to kind of unload Wiggins, because he's got an extra year. This is a player option, which he's definitely going to opt in on. And the salaries of Wiggins and Vucevic are close enough as well, 26 million, 20 million to make something happen. And the other thing with Wiggins is that I haven't done a video on is I do think that was the major stumbling block with the Markkanen trade. That is a different video for you later. I promise I'll do that eventually. So now Vucevic, here's the big problem for me. 33 years old already. You can see that his three-point field goal percentage in his career is not bad for a 6'10 guy. However, as of late, those numbers have been kind of going down. So you can see that back in 2020 for Orlando, pretty respectable, 36%, 34% overall. 40% the next year, really good numbers there. Then it drops 31% back up to 34.9, then back down to less than 30%. So a couple knocks on Vucevic is that, here's one from NBA University, shot 30.5% on 275 wide open three-point attempts. This is a nice little graphic that they have here. This is Vucevic way down here. Very low percentage. This is the average of all of these guys, just about 58% catch and shoots. You can see Clay is right here, but he's below average, although he's shooting a lot of catch and shoots. And as you probably know, Dante DiVincenzo has been outstanding this past year. So those are kind of outliers. This is not a good outlier for Vooch. Moving on, the other thing that happened is that Bruno Caboclo was reported to have a workout with the Warriors, and this will happen for the next couple days until Thursday. As it so happens, Caboclo and Vooch had a direct matchup back on July 2nd in the FIBA Olympic Qualifier. Brazil won that game along with Gui Santos, our favorite Warrior on the Brazilian team. So they beat Montenegro. It was a head-to-head matchup between Caboclo and Vucevic, and Caboclo racked up 25 points, 9 rebounds, 12 of 16 from the field, not to mention 3 block shots, only 2 turnovers. Meanwhile, Vucevic, 5 turnovers, pretty respectable 8 rebounds and 17 points on 6 for 11, 1 for 3 from deep. But if you go watch these highlights, and I'll put a link in the description. In fact, all of these tabs I will have links for in the description. You go back to watch these highlights of Caboclo. Wow, he put on a clinic. And a lot of these plays are directly against Vooch. And you can see Vooch's 33 years of age kind of come into play with some very, shall we say, immobile defensive plays, particularly against Caboclo. I will not show more highlights of this because FIBA basketball highlights, they get a little sensitive showing those highlights. We've liked Bruno for a long time. This is a video of a live stream that we did on a watch party of Brazil and Dominican Republic. And 3 minutes into this video, I said that Bruno should be in the NBA after watching him against Canada the previous game. You guys can look it up. His Olympics just a few weeks ago was pretty good. I've seen him maybe have just one bad game throughout all of the World Cup matches that we watched, as well as the Olympics. And we watched pretty much all of them, maybe missed one with Santos on the team. That is the primary motivation of why we watched all of that. So anyways, the actual news, you got to credit this guy, Alessandro Luigi Maggi. I hope I pronounced that right. Anyways, he was the first to tweet that Daniel Hazan, Caboclo's agent, said that Caboclo believes he will succeed in signing a contract with the Warriors. Moving on. Here is the history, though, of how Bruno got to this point. So what is his current contract situation? Well, he was with Partizan, but if you go into the detail here, and again, I'll have the links in the description, go look at some of this history. In recent months, Bruno had asked to leave the team. Partizan fined him and then decided to exercise the clause in the contract for next season. In short, an endless story, and still with the final to be decided. Obviously, other EuroLeague teams are watching the situation closely, although Bruno's dream is obviously to return to the NBA. So a little bit of drama between Caboclo and Partizan, to the point of where Andrea Calzoni, you can see European Basketball Insider, says that it's very hard to think that he will play with Partizan next season. So that's the history of where we are. And then Calzoni also adds that according to Sport 5 IL, Tel Aviv has made an offer of around $3.4 million for 2 years for Caboclo. He has until Tuesday to give his answer to the club. So deadline's happening quickly here. The Warriors will have to make a decision, and who knows, you may see the Warriors do something here. $3.4 million for 2 years. That's easily surpassed with an NBA contract. Now, I'm not going to show the entire screen here because of the concerns of showing highlights from other leagues, but this is a Switch Cultures tweet that has Caboclo making plays above the rim and from the perimeter in Brazil's win over Team USA, February of 23, I want to say. Yeah. Now, how would the Warriors fit Caboclo into their cap sheet? We're on capsheets.com from the very studious Yossi Gozlan. And what's already known is that right now, the Warriors are only $500,000 under the hard cap first apron, which they will have to be underneath because they signed DeAnthony Melton to that mid-level exception. Going back to Caboclo's bio, 6'9", which seems not that big, but he's very athletic. He's 28, which means, and I've confirmed this with one of my sources who has ties to Brazil. He's offered us insights on Gui Santos, and my source did tell me about Gui's contract before it happened last year. You can go look that up on Twitter on my personal account. And it might be on our website, by the way, letsgowarriors.com. But anyways, Bruno is already 28. He's quite a veteran already, spent 7 years in the NBA. And you'll see here that he actually didn't really start shooting threes until he got to Memphis, which wasn't too bad, 36.9%. If you look at his EuroLeague stats, kind of the same thing, 2021, 67 attempts in Europe. Back with Memphis, that was 2018-19. So it might just be situation-based. And then not a whole lot of threes anymore. They only are tracking 9 games here, 3 games here. And then suddenly Partizan EuroLeague shooting 46 threes at a pretty respectable clip for just 46 shots, 50%. And so that's just the information I wanted to provide to you guys. We're going to see where this goes with Caboclo. And there's many avenues the Warriors could take to make room for Bruno. And it'll be interesting just exactly how they do that, if they do that. So I just wanted to present you with everything that I know so far about this stuff, and I'll try and keep you posted. Now, Friday, we are going to do another live stream. Why? Because it's been a while since we've done a live stream, since we've had a watch party to watch any kind of basketball. And really, the only other basketball going on right now is Caitlin Clark, and she happens to be playing against Angel Reese. It's the Indiana Fever against the Chicago Sky on Friday. So be sure to join us here on Let's Go Warriors for that. Tip-off will be at 4:30 p.m. Pacific time, and the game is going to be televised on ION. So that's all I have for now. And hey, I do owe you guys a follow-up on the Markkanen thing. Of course, Wiggins, I think, was the main deal breaker of that, and that'll be my thesis for that eventual report. But here is our original Markkanen video back about a month ago, when that whole thing started to become a serious rumor. So that's all I have for you right now. And again, I hope you guys join us back for Caitlin against Angel on Friday. And until then, I appreciate you checking this out. I hope you guys gained a lot more information on Bruno Caboclo, as well as the Vooch trade idea. And we'll see you Friday.